All right. Hey guys, it's Kat here. Welcome back to another video. This will be the last one of the week, which will make it 6 out of 6 days so far in this week. And then tomorrow is a Sunday, which is a day of rest. Thank you very much. Although, we'll see if I can figure out in the future if I have the capacity to make 7 videos a week. But I think that might just not necessarily have the returns that it would require to go for that extra one. Anyways, today we're going to talk about just further developments in my praying, planning, deliberation, deciding, figuring outing process for my spectacularly successful future social media online career, where we turn the works of my hands into profit in a monetary sense. And so we're going to do that while I unpick the hem of this mini skirt that I made, because the issue's in the name, it's a mini skirt right now, and I have no business wearing mini skirts around, and so I need to basically take this stitch here out, and I believe that when I hemmed it, I'm hoping I folded it down to there. And then we've also got an inch to play with here. And so I'll be able to lengthen it by at least 1 inch. And that should be fine, because this skirt currently started off as, I got it from a charity shop in Paris. And it's just, well, it looks so short now. I'm so sorry, guys. It's salacious. But it was like a really long skirt. But because of the structure of the skirt, it just doesn't look great as a really long skirt. Maybe if I was like if I was like a black wedge flip-flop girl, they would have been perfect, actually. But I don't even have wedge flip-flops yet, like I want to have. And so they're just not currently, it wasn't going to be a viable skirt, and I wasn't getting it worn, but it's such good quality. Everything I get from secondhand shops in Paris are such good quality. That's happened twice in my life. I need to just caveat me giving a false impression of what my life actually looks like, although I pray that it becomes something much more regular in the future. But anyways, it was a much longer skirt, which means that when I cut it, I got a lot of fabric off, and I was like, let me go make a top that I'm seeing on COS. And so I made this top here, which is basically, it goes around the neck. It has a little, if you see here, it's got this, wait, let me show you guys. It's got this hook fastening thing going on there, and it's, come on, product showcase set is, I'm sorry, I accidentally just stopped recording, but basically I made this. It's really sturdy and I'm very proud of it. And anyways, so you can hook it around your neck like so, and then it's got this structured bodice here, which then comes around and then wraps around your waist like that. But the problem is I ran out of fabric for the back, and so it basically looks completely backless from the back right now, and it's just not appropriate. And so I don't even know if I have enough fabric to basically do the things that I would need to do on it. I'll figure something out eventually, but I'm just not there yet. But I was really proud with this because I created bust darts so it fits around my small chest super duper beautifully. Whoa! Perfect. Landed right on the pile of clothes projects that I have open. But anyways, I made this into a skirt, and the fit of the skirt is perfect, but it's just too short. When I wear it, I'm like, is this too short? And the fact that I'm asking that question means that it's too short. And so I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to get as much length back as I can possibly get. And then when I rehem it, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to add fabric to the end of it to extend it a little bit, and then I'll fold that over so I can really maximize the actual natural original fabric, to make it appropriate. This is going to be I want this to be a skirt that I can wear for a very, very long time. You know, I want to be able to become like a mother of children who I want to admire me, and it remains an appropriate skirt to wear. So my prayer is really that when I actually lengthen it and take all the length out, I will actually have succeeded in creating and fixing it so I can feel respectable in it, and that I didn't just make it too short beyond repair. So we're going to find out now. We're going to find out maybe when I've actually sewed it back up together. But for the first step is unpicking it. And so that's 2 minutes to describe what I'm doing while I talk about, I'm just gonna ramble about updates that I'm having, how I'm developing my thinking process, my strategization process as I'm getting into the flow of creating videos. You know what's just so cool is that my original like YouTube content plan was like I was getting burned out a year ago and I was making one video a week. And so the thought of ever making more than one video a week was just, it just never crossed my mind because it was so much effort just getting one out. But I never considered that there could be another totally different style of content that I could make, aka talking to the camera and not really high editing, cutting things out and stuff, and just being real and raw with you guys. That could be something that I could even do. I think, you know, confidence issues maybe. I just didn't think anyone would want to listen to me. I don't have anything interesting to say, even though I'm constantly going about life being like, if only there was a way to share this with people. And so anyways, it's just funny that it didn't cross my mind sooner. But yeah, now that I'm in the flow of it, I'm like, wait, like I literally I'm loving doing this so much. And even though on day 3, I already was feeling like, I've run out of ideas, I have nothing to say. And then I just crossed that bridge of like, it was like a mental fear, I think, of like, I will have nothing to say. What if I run out of things? But life is life. There's an infinite amount of things to say. And so that is my conviction. I know it's true. I always have something to talk about. And there's so many interesting things in the world. And okay guys, there are so many beautiful, interesting things in the world and niche topics in the entire world that I could spend every single day for the rest of my life talking about a new, interesting niche thing, and I still wouldn't have scratched the surface. Like, even if this was just like a book review, an old book review channel, I could spend the rest of my life every single day like sharing with you one old craft book, and I still wouldn't have covered them all. And so I need not fret, I need not worry about running out of ideas and things to talk about. And so that was like my day 3 stress. And then I got over that. And then I was like, okay, cool. Then we just need to get into the habit of creating a video every single day. And so I was like, oh, that's great. I can do that. That will make, you know, I can even get it done in like an hour if I need to. And so that gives an hour's worth of YouTube, social media work in the morning. And then I can have the rest of my day to do content. Wow, what a dream life this is looking up to be. So then I was like, okay, great. I actually now having a whole week where I've consistently made a video every single week. In fact, what I've discovered, which I didn't expect to discover, wait, I need to actually stop talking so much and also do this work. What I discovered, which I didn't, tools. I'm using this really cute stitch ripper. This stitch ripper looks like the left-handed pens in school, and I am left-handed, and so it just brings back memories. And then I also can crack out this blade at some point. The lid doesn't fit on perfectly because I replaced the blade, and so I love it when this camera focuses on stuff in front of me because it's just so crispy. But yeah, the blade I replaced it with is slightly longer than the original blade, but yeah, feels really cool, like actually dulling down a craft blade and then replacing it with a new one. But this is a much more efficient way of ripping stitches, but requires more focus. And so I actually think that while I'm chatting right now, I'm just going to close that back up and go back to the kids one. Yeah, okay, so I think what I was saying, I realized that I can actually make more than one video a day. And so I can get ahead of myself in the week, which is really cool and satisfying. And so I'm filming this on Thursday. I actually already have today's video scheduled to go up later today. Oh, maybe it's gone up now actually. And I have tomorrow's video also scheduled up for tomorrow. And it's funny because actually at the beginning of this week I said I was only going to do 5 videos, but I ended both of those videos by saying that there's going to be a video tomorrow. And so I'm making this video for Saturday because of what I said to myself. But actually this might be proving me that even my goal of 5 videos a week can be stretched to 6. And we are talking about, you know, a balance between volume and output and quality. I heard a really cool, I didn't fold this hem over as much as I hoped, but we'll make it work. yeah, there was this woman talking about how it was an example of art classes, and so you have two art teachers, and one art teacher tells his class, for the rest of the year, work on this one painting, make it as amazing as possible. Then the other art teacher said, okay, for the rest of this year, just try and make as many different art pieces as you possibly can. And at the end of the year, the class that was told to make as many art pieces as they possibly could, they ended up with their, like, well, in my head, I'm assuming on like their own unique style. It would have been high quality work. They would have got to refine and work within so many different techniques and find things that, yeah, just work for them so specifically and uniquely, and that actually look really good. And so that's what I'm trying to nail here, is what is my specific unique thing that I can be doing, and that requires me doing not just one video a week, which I already thought like that's crazy output. That was me last year. I was like, wow, one video a week, if I can actually sustain that would be crazy output. But now I'm like 6 videos a week, 5 or 6 videos a week. Could I really? And I'm like, well, actually, I've done that this week and I have not felt even close to burnout because I've enjoyed it so much. Because every single video is different as well, yet within the safety bubble of like this cozy corner of my room, talking about stuff that I love. Anyways, I'm just enjoying this is what I'm saying. And if you see my last like 5 or 6 videos, you'll see that I've just been really cool in the captions because I have not known what it is exactly that I'm doing yet. And so my captions have just been like, follow me on Instagram, not really saying much else. Whereas, and I think that's like PTSD from before when I was making the one video a week that was draining everything out of me because I was putting so much time into the filming, so much time into the editing. Then I would put time into the thumbnail. Then I would also put time into making a unique description. And then none of those things worked. And so the last step of the video upload process is making the description. And so that was like fresh in my mind. It's like, this is futile. It doesn't work. And so I was like, right, well, I'm still figuring this out. Like, I'm not even going to bother with descriptions right now because whatever. But I'm realizing now as I feel like I'm honing into something. And what I'm thinking that is, and just hold this lightly, guys. But what I'm thinking I'm honing in on is like a daily arts and crafts talk show. Because it's not quite a podcast, because I really do feel like the visuals are important, because I'll be adding images sometimes. I'll be demonstrating specific like visual things. So it's not a podcast in a traditional sense. So I feel like a talk show almost sounds a bit too high production, which this is not necessarily like the highest production. I just want to keep it simple. But yeah, maybe just like a daily arts and crafts talk show. Daily arts and crafts podcast. How does that sound? I think that sounds really wholesome and cute, because that's all I want to talk about is arts and crafts and beauty. But arts and crafts are like with the ultimate goal of beauty, and so I don't need to use that word. But daily arts and crafts pod, but it's not a pod, talk show. But is there a word that's better? It's like in between podcast and talk show that I can use that would be instantly helpful for the algorithm to present my videos to people who would enjoy my videos, because this is the next step now. Now we've arrived at the next step. The next step is basically now, how do I use SEO, my descriptions, in order to allow the algorithm to understand what my videos are and then present them to the people who are going to be captivated by them. And so that's just the next step, is that now I'm kind of honing in on what I want to do. I'm thinking, okay, cool, let's be more strategic now, because I'm getting to a point where I'm going to be ready soon for my videos to be pumped out to people who don't yet know me. And so how can I be helping the algorithm? That's one thing. The next thing on top of that is, again, thinking about how we're going to be smart and business minded about this, to turn what I'm doing into something that I can, maybe one day get some brand deals for. That would be really, really cool. Turn it into something where also I can sell a product, be it a digital product. It could be patterns for crochet. It could be sewing patterns. It could be a range of things. It could be guides for how to do things. It could be affiliate. next point, it could be affiliate marketing, thingy-majiggies. It could be like, oh, here's a whole list of things. If you live in the UK, get these from Amazon and you can start bead crocheting like that. These are all ideas that are going into my head. But what I realize is that my 2 social media focuses are going to be YouTube and Instagram, because those are the things that I use. And everyone's like, well, not everyone, but like people are like, oh, are you doing TikTok? Are you doing Reels? And I'm like, I don't really use TikTok or like TikTok, and I don't want to just do short form content for the sake of doing short form content. Like, I don't want to just make these into shorts being like, oh, let's just have you talk about 20 seconds, hear 20 seconds of my speech so that you can be enticed to hearing the full shebang of what I'm saying. I just don't want to spend my time doing that. I don't even want to like ask an AI to do that for me. And if you don't know me, I'm pretty fresh when it comes to using AI. I'm just learning how to ask ChatGPT for help with very basic things, which could be something that I've resisted for a long time to my detriment, but it also could be to my advantage to keep myself unique and different on here and stand out from the crowd. But who knows? I don't know. This is my first time doing live. Also, as in, it's also yours and it's also everyone else's. So I don't know that I'm doing it right, but I'm just doing it the way that I feel like sometimes, you know? So anyways, the final piece of this puzzle, before we get to the next whole puzzle, which is how to monetize, is that now I've realized, oh, I could actually sustainably make these YouTube videos. I think I also have the capacity to start making polished short form content. And that way I can be hopefully driving audience to my Instagram page, but also driving audience to my YouTube separately. And then those can kind of intermingle and marry, because you can't guarantee that you build a YouTube audience and then get everyone to convert to Instagram and then want to get brand deals on Instagram, and vice versa. So it's good to have a 2-pronged approach is what I'm realizing. And I know in my heart I have the capacity for both and the skills for both as well, which is rare to begin with. I need to remember that. Like, it's not even everyone that has the capacity and the skill set to do those both things. And so I need to make the most of the fact that I do. And so I've just been praying also about, I've got like 5 inches of this unpicked because I got distracted. I just love talking to you. But yeah, that's where I'm at. And so thank you for joining me on this journey of starting for realsies, for seriousies this time on the social medias. I feel like I always knew that before when I was doing social medias, I always felt like I was just preparing for something in the future, and I just felt like, I know I haven't found the thing yet, but I feel like I'm preparing for something in the future. Whereas now, I genuinely do feel like I'm on the cusp of the thing. And that's a really exciting feeling. And so, yeah, welcome to the beginnings, the cusp. We are currently at 604 subscribers. I think I've lost 1 since yesterday, which is fantastic. But we're at 604 right now, and we're at 10 hours of watch time, which is also pretty cool. I've posted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, say 7 videos. And so I think this is it just feels like a good strategy. So yeah, I'll see you guys on Monday, and just know I'm loving this, and I'm loving you guys, and I hope that you're loving this. And if you're not, then there's so many other things on the internet for you to love, but be praying for me that I can hear God's voice and his divine strategy and his plan for what is next and the best way to go about doing things. And I'm going to sign off now so I can actually finish doing this. But thank you for joining me. I've been Kat. My Instagram is Kat Soothens. Please follow me on there as I build the 2-pronged strategy approach. And I will see you on Monday with something else artsy and crafty. And so this has been my arts and crafts daily talk show / podcast / the other word that you're going to help me find. Lots of love, God bless you, and peace be with you.